اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم الف لام را تلک آیات الکتاب المبین انا انزلناہ قرآنا عربیا لعلکم تعقلون نحن نقص علیک احسن القصص بما اوحینا الیک هذا القرآن وان کنت من قبلہ لمن الغافلین صدق اللہ العظیم. Now this surah Yusuf, which comprises of 111 ayat divided into 13 sections, 12 sections. This Surah Al-Mubarakah is very peculiar in many respects. One aspect I told you, that now these surahs which are following, Makki surahs, they are 14 in number, starting from Surah Yunus, ending with Surah Al-Mu'minun in the 18th part. These are 14 surahs. And 12 of them are in subgroups of 3 surahs each. Among every group there are 2 surahs which are like a pair, very similar to each other, reciprocal to each other. All those things, you know, they exist, those points of similarity also and reciprocity also. But one is peculiar, which has no pair. So here we found Surah Yunus, Surah Hud, alayhi salatu wassalam. They were a pair, a very beautiful pair, a complete pair. Similarities, reciprocities, all present. But Surah Yusuf is a peculiar surah. It is unique in many respects. Number one, it is unique that whole of this surah contains the story, or we may call it the biography, of one prophet of Allah. Whole of it. Quite a big, quite a sizable surah, 12 sections. But, you know, except a few ayat in the beginning and a few ayat in the end, whole of the surah is devoted to the story of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. And that is the title of this surah, Surah Yusuf. Number 2, there is only one example more in the whole of Quran, which is devoted exclusively to one messenger of Allah. No mention of anyone else in that, and that is Surah Taha. That is also included in this very group. Surah Taha will come after Surah Maryam. You know, this is also in that 2/3 of that surah, nearly 2/3 is, you know, occupied by the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. Now what is peculiar? During the lifetime of Hazrat Yusuf, Bani Israel entered Egypt. And at the time of Hazrat Musa, they came out from Egypt. So one full surah devoted to that incident, and one surah devoted to that incident of Exodus, as they call it. The book of Exodus is a very full book in the Old Testament. But the difference is, Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam was a Nabi, not a messenger. You won't find in the whole surah that type of thing, you believe me, you obey me, if you don't obey me, if you don't believe me, justice will come to you, you will be exterminated. You know, nothing of this. Just like, you know, a saint, a very pious person, you know, a very, so to say, waliullah, a friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only difference being, I told you, the only difference between Nabi and wali is that to wali, well, revelations don't come. Nabi, to Nabi, revelations have been coming. That's all. Otherwise, their behavior is very similar to each other. They must, you know, all the awliya Allah, they have been making da'wah to people so that they become good. Ya'muruna bil ma'ruf, yanhauna 'anil munkar. All these things they have to do. This is actually absolutely natural, logical. But no special appointment. فَاذْهَبْ إِلَىٰ فِرْعَوْنَ إِنَّهُ طَغَىٰ. Now this is an appointment. Go to him. So actually, that is now a Nabi when he is appointed to a particular people, to a particular region, to a particular city. Now he becomes a Rasul. Now his, you know, behavior is absolutely different. You have to believe in me. You will have to obey me. An i'budullaha wa ati'un. Wa ma arsalna bir rasulin illa liyuta'a bi'iznillah. So the conduct of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam is a very beautiful example of a person who was a Nabi only, not a Rasul. And you know the difference in their behavior, in their attitude, very remarkable. Third thing about this surah which must be mentioned in the beginning is that this surah was revealed to answer a question which was put to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the Quraysh of Makkah on the instigation of Yahud, the Jews of Medina. Ask him, what were the circumstances in which Bani Israel went to Egypt? They didn't belong to Egypt. Why did they go there? What's the history? What were the circumstances which led to their going to Egypt? So this question was put to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now this whole surah was revealed, but in a very beautiful way, so that not only the question was answered, but a mirror was shown to the Quraysh at Makkah. What happened to Yusuf is going to happen to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You are plotting against him, لَيُثْبِتُوكَ or يُخْرِجُوكَ or يَقْتُلُوكَ. Should we kill him? Should we imprison him? Should we expel him? This was the consultation going on at Makkah. The same way the brothers of Yusuf, they were also, discussing among themselves what to do, how to do away with this person, Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will stay in Ghar-e-Saur, and Yusuf was thrown in a well. But from Ghar-e-Saur, Muhammad went straight to Medina, and he entered Medina as an unthroned king. In the same way, from this well, Yusuf was taken out, and he entered Egypt, and in course of time, he became the most powerful person in that country. And in the same way, that the brothers of Yusuf had to stand before Yusuf in humiliation. One day will surely come when you, O Quraysh, will be standing before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he will say to you the same words as Yusuf said to his brothers, La tasriba alaykum al-yawm, izhabu fantum at-tulaqa. So history is repeating itself. So that is actually, these are, then there are very different issues also which we shall discuss, but these basic points must be noted before we start the study of the text. Alif Lam Ra, the third surah, consecutive surah, which is starting with these three letters, Alif Lam Ra. Surah Yunus, Surah Hud, before this also began with these. And I pointed out to you, these words, these letters here are not counted as an ayah. Alif Lam Mim in Surah Al-Baqarah, Alif Lam Mim in Surah Al-Imran are counted in one ayah. Alif Lam Ra is not. But it is not based on any principle of logic, any principle of grammar, nothing of that sort. It is all tawqifi. As the Prophet said, we take it. Tilka ayatul kitab al-mubin. These are the ayat of a book which is very clear, manifest. Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan. We have sent it down as an Arabic Quran. Now, what is this pronoun, objective mood of the pronoun? The real book is there. Fi lawhim mahfuz, kitabim maknoon, fi ummul kitab ladayna al-aliyyun hakim. Now, when we have sent down it to you, we have made it a book, a Quran in Arabic language. We don't know what language is there. Allah's language, Actually, we don't know. But had this Quran been revealed to any other nation, having another language, it would have been revealed in that language also. Taurat was given in Hebrew. Injil, we don't know, absolutely don't know in which language it was revealed. Because we don't find any original text of Injil in Hebrew, nor in Aramaic, nor in Syriac. And these are the only three languages which could be the original language of Injil. But no copy, no text is to be found. The earliest copy of Injil is a Greek translation. Now, Injil could not have been sent down in Greek. because Greek was not the language of the area where Hazrat Masih ﷺ lived. So it couldn't be that. It would have been Greek to them, as we say, idiomatically. It's all Greek for him. But it would have been Greek for them. So actually it must have been sent either in Hebrew or in Syriac or the Aramaic language. But they don't claim to have any text in those original languages. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down, Inna ja'alnahu, we have made it Qur'anan Arabiyan, a Quran, Arabic Quran, la'allakum taqilun, so that you may understand it. Who are they? You, the people of Arabia, who were the first addressees of Quran. To them the advent of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was al-bi'satul khassa, exclusively special, advent was for the people of Arabia. Nahnu naqussu alayka ahsanal qasas, we narrate to you the best narrations. Bima awhayna ilayka hadha al-Quran, with that what we have sent down to you and we have revealed to you this Quran. Wa in kunta min qablihi la min al-ghafilin, surely before this you were also absolutely unaware, from among the unawares. Just as your nation didn't know, you also didn't know. Iz qala YUSUF li abihi. Now who is Yusuf? Please note here, you must be knowing, son of Yaqub, who was son of Ishaq, who was son of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam. So grandson of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, grandson we should say. Iz qala YUSUF li abihi. Who is Abi? And he is Yaqub alayhi salatu wassalam. Ya abati inni ra'aytu ahada ashara kawkaban wa shamsa wal qamara ra'aytuhum li sajidin. Oh my father, I saw in my dream, in my vision, 11 stars and the sun and the moon prostrating before me. Qala ya bunayya la taqsus ru'yaka ala ikhwatik. He said, the father said, oh my son, dear son, don't relate this vision of yours to your brothers. There were 11 brothers of Yusuf. 2 of them, they were the youngest, Hazrat Yusuf bin Yamin, and they were from the same mother. The elder 10, they were from different mothers, but they were one group. And they were all, united against these 2. Because being the youngest, they were more dear. They were more focus of attention of father, Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wassalam. So they had developed a jealousy. So that was, the cause of that enmity, that jealousy. قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تَقْصُصْ رُؤْيَاكَ عَلَىٰ إِخْوَتِكَ فَيَكِيدُوا لَكَ كَيْدًا. They will plot against you and devise against you a plot. إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لِلْإِنسَانِ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. Verily, Satan is for humans, for mankind, a very clear enemy. وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. Now he is giving what was the interpretation of this dream. You will be chosen. Out of my sons, you will be chosen as Nabi. Ijteba and istifa, these are 2 very closely related words. That is why we use these 2 words about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ahmad Mujtaba. And both have very similar, connotation. To choose someone, to select someone. But there is a difference in choice and selection. But I can't go into detail. So this ijtiba and istifa is for the prophets. وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. And this dream, shows that you will be chosen by your Lord, وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِنْ تَعْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ, and He will teach you the interpretations of all things. Ahadis, usually people think that visions and dreams. No. Hadasa means anything which happens. Hadisa, an accident. Whether it is an accident or an incident or a saying, Hadithul Rasul, Hadithullah, فَبِأَيِّ حَدِيثٍ بَعْدَهُ يُؤْمِنُونَ. This is Hadith of Allah. So all the sayings, all the statements, all the incidents, all the accidents, all the dreams, all the visions, they are all included in this word ahadith. He will teach you the interpretation and to reach to the basic thing in every statement, in every saying, in every dream, in every vision, in every imagination, etc., etc. وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَىٰ آلِ يَعْقُوبَ. And He will perfect His blessing on you and the progeny of Yaqub. كما أتمها على أبويك, as he perfected it on your forefathers min qabl, before Ibrahim wa Ishaq, that is Ibrahim and Ishaq alayhim salatu wassalam. And he didn't name himself out of humility. It was not good, that he should have named himself also. Ibrahim wa Ishaq wa Yaqub, but he was himself speaking, so he omitted his name. Inna rabbaka alimun hakim, verily your Lord is all knowing, all wise. Laqad kana fi Yusuf wa ikhwatihi ayatul lisailin. Verily, in this, this story of Yusuf and his brothers are signs for those who are asking. They will see a mirror. A mirror will be presented to them, because the Quraysh asked the question. Actually, those who instigated were the Jews, but to Prophet ﷺ came the Quraysh. Now actually, both of them, the Quraysh as well as the Jews, they had been given this mirror. You can see your picture, and you can see the picture of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The role, the same role as of Yusuf is now today of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the role that was of the brothers of Yusuf is of these chieftains of Quraysh and the Jews of Medina. إِذْ قَالُوا لَيُوسُفُ وَأَخُوهُ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَبِينَا مِنَّا. When they said, verily Yusuf وَأَخُوهُ أَحَبُّ إِلَىٰ أَبِينَا مِنَّا, Yusuf and his brother are more dear to our father than us. وَنَحْنُ عُصْبَةٌ, although we are a strong group. Now this word, usba, strong group. We are a strong group. So actually, he should love us more. We can protect him. At any time of emergency, we can come to his help. So he should show more affection towards us. But what we see that he loves these two youngsters who can't be of any help. Inna abana lafi dalalin mubin. Verily, our father seems to be in a manifest error. اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم. Now either kill Yusuf or expel him into some other land, so that the attention of your father now becomes exclusively for you. The same thing. ليثبتوك أو يقتلوك أو يخرجوك. Either they should imprison you, or you kill you, or expel you. The same thing. اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين. And after that you become the righteous man, So this is a usual thing which our nafs, tells us. Well, take this bitter pill. Then you can repent. You can, mend your ways. Afterwards you become a good man. But at this time you have to do it, although it is very bad, it is something wicked, it is something haram, it is forbidden, but I have to do it. So take this bitter pill at this time at least, but then later on you become righteous and you become the all gentle. قَالَ قَائِلٌ مِّنْهُمْ لَا تَقْتُلُوا يُوسُفَ. So said one who said from amongst them, don't kill, لَا تَقْتُلُوا يُوسُفَ, don't kill Yusuf. وَالْقُوهُ فِي غَيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ. You just throw him in some well. يَلْتَقِطْهُ بَعْضُ السَّيَّارَةِ. He will be taken out from there by some caravan, travelers. إِن كُنْتُمْ فَاعِلِينَ, if you are bent upon doing something. Among them was also some saner, advice. He was the eldest, and he said, he was the most gentle among them. First of all, don't kill. And if you are bent upon doing it, because now we are a group, if majority of you want to do something, well, I can't resist. But if you are bent upon doing something, then only you throw him some well, so that some caravan comes. When they will draw water, Yusuf will come out, and they will take him, to some other land. قَالُوا يَا أَبَانَا مَا لَكَ لَا تَأْمَنَّا عَلَى يُوسُفَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَنَاصِحُونَ. They said, oh our father, what's with you? What's the cause? That you don't trust us regarding Yusuf, alayhi salatu wassalam. وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَنَاصِحُونَ. We are most sincere well-wishers to him. You think we are enemies to him? No, we are most sincere. We are his well-wishers, but you don't trust us. أَرْسِلُ مَعَنَا يَرْتَعْ وَيَلْعَبْ. send him tomorrow with us, so that he should eat and play. We are going out hunting. He should also, when one goes out, can have some wild fruit, from the jungle and so on. So he'll play. Arsilu ma'ana ghadan yarta'i wa inna lahu lahafizun, and we shall be protectors. We promise we shall protect him. قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون. He said, it very much grieves me. Maybe that you take him with you and then you become unaware of him, heedless about him, and some wolf comes and eats him and devours him. As if he himself gave the hint, what to do and what to say. قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون. They said, oh father, look to it. We are a strong group, 10 of us, 11 now, because Benjamin is also to go with us. Now in our presence, if a wolf can come and eat him and devour him, then we are in a loss, we are nothing, we are meaningless then. فَلَمَّا ذَهَبُوا بِهِ, when they went with him, took him out, وَأَجْمَعُوا, that is mean أَجْمَعُوا كَيْدَهُمْ, they gathered, their will and decision, and they agreed upon it. أَن يَجْعَلُوهُ فِي غَيَابَةِ الْجُبِّ, that they should put him in that depths of that well. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ, and we put it in his heart. Now wahi here, it is not the wahi of Nabuwa. أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ, it is just like the wahi to the, even, the honey bee, also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So yuhi rabbuka ila nahl. In the same way, it's an inspiration, not revelation. We inspired him. لَتُنَبِّئَنَّهُمْ بِأَمْرِهِمْ هَذَا. Oh Yusuf, don't fear. A time will come. You will tell them that they did this to you. You will inform them what they are doing. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ, and they are knowing nothing what they are doing. Or they will not be absolutely knowing that you are Yusuf. It's a reference to what will happen in the end, that you will tell them what you did with Yusuf. So actually in this there was a solace for Yusuf. You will not be killed, you will not be wasted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthened his heart. Take heart, we are with you. A time will come when you will inform them what they are doing to you today. وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءً يَبْكُونَ, and they came to their father at the nightfall, weeping. قَالُوا يَا أَبَانَا إِنَّا ذَهَبْنَا نَسْتَبِقُ, and they said, oh our father, we went away racing with each other. وَتَرَكْنَا يُوسُفَ عِنْدَ مَتَاعِنَا, and we left Yusuf with our goods, our clothing, etc., goods. فَأَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ, and a wolf ate him up, devoured him. وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُؤْمِنٍ لَنَا وَلَوْ كُنَّا صَادِقِينَ, you are not going to believe us, although we might be absolutely truthful, but you will never believe it. وَجَاءُوا عَلَىٰ قَمِيصِهِ بِدَمٍ كَذِبٍ, and they brought on the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam false blood. قَالَ بَلْ سَوَّلَتْ لَكُمْ أَنفُسُكُمْ أَمْرًا, Hazrat Yaqub said, your minds have enticed you to invent this matter. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ, so for me it's the time to have patience and beautiful patience. He could be, hot, he could be furious, he could abuse them, everything could be done. But sabrun jameel, beautiful. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَى مَا تَصِفُونَ. As the command came to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا يَقُولُونَ وَاهْجُرْهُمْ هَجْرًا جَمِيلًا. So you have patience on whatever they are saying, you have to bear it. And you should, leave them, but this leaving should not be in a very, it should be in a very beautiful way, so that you can meet again. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَى مَا تَصِفُونَ, and only Allah can be called for help on what you are describing. وَجَاءَتْ سَيَّارَةٌ, and as the brother had said, a caravan of travelers came. فَأَرْسَلُوا وَارِدَهُمْ, they sent ahead their water drawer. فَأَدْلَى دَلْوَهُ, and that person, the water drawer, he sent down his bucket. قَالَ يَا بُشْرَى هَذَا غُلَامٌ, and he said, oh, congratulations, good tidings. There we have found a youth. هَذَا غُلَامٌ وَأَسَرُّوهُ بِضَاعَةً, and they hid him as a merchandise. So now we can sell him, we can make money from him. So they hid him. وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ, and Allah knew what they were doing. And Allah himself intended that it should be done, because he had to be taken to Egypt. How could he go by himself to Egypt? The caravan was heading towards Egypt. وَشَرَوْهُ بِثَمَنٍ بَخْسٍ دَرَاهِمَ مَعْدُودَةٍ, and they sold him for a paltry price, a few counted dirhams. وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّاهِدِينَ, and they were very ascetic regarding the demanding of their price, because they had not paid anything. It was just free for them. Had they paid some money, they would have included that, cost, and then added to that cost their own profit. But here they found it without any price, so they accepted a very low price also. وَقَالَ الَّذِي اشْتَرَاهُ مِن مِصْرَ, now we come to Misr. Now some of the Egyptologists, they have, fixed the year of the entrance of Yusuf into Egypt as 1890 before Christ. And it seems to be like that, because 2000 years or so, 2000 plus was the era of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, 2000 plus before Christ. And now because he is the great grandson of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, and he was 17 at this age when he was thrown in the well, and he was taken out, and then he was sold. That was the 17th year of his age, and it was the year 1890 before Christ. وَقَالَ الَّذِي اشْتَرَاهُ مِن مِصْرَ, now they brought him to the market of the slaves in Egypt, and said the person who bought him, who purchased him in Misr, in Egypt, لِمْرَاتِهِ, to his wife, أَكْرَمِي مَثْوَاهُ, make his lodgings goodly. عَسَىٰ يَنْفَعْنَا, maybe that he gives us some benefit, we can sell him for a higher price. أَوْ نَتَّخِذَهُ وَلَدًا, and it can also be possible that we adopt him as a son. They didn't have any son. وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُف, and this is how we establish Yusuf in the land, fil ard. Now it was a cradle of civilization. It was an empire. And this person, he was Al-Aziz, so to say, the chief executive officer, maybe in our terminology, the prime minister, or the senior minister in this system of, for example, in French system, senior chief minister. So he was having a very big position, and now he was lodged in his house, and people were coming over there, high gentry, aristocrats coming, and talking, and he was listening to them. So actually he was trained over there for all the political affairs, all the affairs of community, and what are the problems, how they are set, how they are resolved, how can they be solved. So all these things, because he was lodged in the house of the chief executive of Egypt. وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلِنُعَلِّمَهُ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. Being there in that high society, at that house, because whenever some visitors would be coming to Al-Aziz of Misr, he would call upon Yusuf, okay, bring this for him and for them, and serve them, and so on. So he was always listening to what was happening. In that way, he gained the capability of interpreting all things, Something is appearing to be something else, and behind is something else. To know what is behind it, that is the Ta'wilul Ahadis. You go to the root, to the background. What is the real cause? What is the underlying cause? So that is actually Ta'wilul Ahadis. لِنُعَلِّمَهُ مِن تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ وَاللَّهُ غَالِبٌ عَلَىٰ أَمْرِهِ. And surely Allah is all powerful over His command and over His decisions. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. But most of the people don't know it. They think what we are doing is best, and it will happen as we are designing it and devising it to happen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may use your ill designs against a person in a way that it becomes beneficial for him. وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا, and when he reached his maturity, about 18 or 19 years of age, mature, آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا, we gave him the judgment and the knowledge, the wisdom and the knowledge. وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ, and in this way we reward the people who do good or who are best in their deen. وَرَاوَدَتْهُ الَّتِي هُوَ فِي بَيْتِهَا عَنْ نَفْسِهِ, and the woman in whose house he was, she tried to seduce him sexually. وَغَلَّقَتْ الْأَبْوَابَ, and she closed the doors. وَقَالَتْ هَيْتَ لَكَ, and said, come on. قَالَ مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ, he said, my refuge is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I take refuge in Allah. إِنَّهُ رَبِّي أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ, he is my Lord, and he has, kept me here in the best of the ways. My lodging in best way. Now there is a different opinion. Rabbi means either Allah or the master, because the master, who has bought him. This was also an idiom of that time, that he is the Rabb, he is the Lord. This will be used by Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam to his two companions of the prison. And this word is used for your king or your master, Rabb. So this Rabb, has a very broad meaning. Rabbul Mal, the owner of the capital. Rabbul Bayt, the owner of the house. So actually the Rabb, he was the master, the Aqa, to whom he was a bondsman, because he had bought him. Innahu ahsan rabbi, so I can't do this against him. You are his wife, and he kept me in the best of the ways. Innahu la yuflihu zalimun, verily the evildoers can never prosper. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا, and certainly she besought him, and he would also have besought her. لَوْلَا رَا بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ, had he not seen the burhan of his Lord, of his Rabb. Now what is that burhan? Generally it is said that there was a miracle, that on the wall appeared the figure of Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salam, and he forbade him, don't hold to yourself. But Abdullah Yusuf Ali has explained it in a very different way, and I think it's a beautiful way. I can't say that it is the only way, but it is a beautiful way. She was blind with passions and emotions, but Yusuf was spiritually, he was seeing. So actually this was the burhan. He saw Allah, because spiritually he believed in Allah. She only thought that nobody is seeing, because I have already closed the doors, and she was blind due to passions. But Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, because he believed in Allah, who always sees, you are always in his sight. So that was the burhan according to Abdullah Yusuf Ali, and Allah better knows. كَذَلِكَ لِنَصْرِفَ عَنْهُ السُّوءَ, and it was so that we should turn away from him the evil and indecency and all shameful acts, وَالْفَحْشَاء, and all shameful acts. إِنَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُخْلَصِينَ, verily he was from among chosen bondsmen. This is not mukhlisin. Some people have mistranslated it, sincere. Mukhlis is something else, mukhlas is something else. Mukhlis is ismul fa'il, and mukhlas is ismul maf'ul, and he was one of those whom we have chosen. وَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابِ, both of them raced towards the door. Hazrat Yusuf tried to run away, and she chased him. وَقَدَّتْ قَمِيصَهُ مِنْ دُبُرٍ, in this chase, she caught hold of the shirt, definitely from the back side, مِنْ دُبُرٍ, and it was torn. وَأَلْفَيَا سَيِّدَهَا لَدَى الْبَابِ, and it came to happen that they found the Sayyid, the master, the husband of that woman, he was on the door. Now look to the intelligence of this woman. قَالَتْ مَا جَزَاءُ مَنْ أَرَادَ بِأَهْلِكَ سُوءًا, she said, oh, what should be the recompense of the one who tried to have something bad and ill with your wife, who tried to assault your wife. Illa an yusjana, except this, that he should be imprisoned, aw azabun alim, or some other painful torment. Qala hiya rawadatni an nafsi. Yusuf said, it is she who tried to seduce me sexually. Wa shahida shahidun min ahliha. Now this is very important. Both of them, two just persons, they appear to be very just. Now a person from her family, min ahliha, belonging to her family, he gave a witness, he gave a testimony. In kana qamiso qudda min qubulin. If his shirt is torn from the front, fasadaqat, then she is correct. She is telling the truth. Wahuwa min al-kadhibin. And he is from among the liars. Wa in kana qamisu qudda min duburin. And if his shirt has been torn from the back, fakadhabat, then she is telling a lie. Wahuwa min as-sadiqin. And whatever he is saying is true. Walamma ra'a qamisahu qudda min duburin. And when he saw that the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was torn from the back, qala innahu min kaydikun. Immediately he said, to his wife, it is from your machinations, from your guile. Inna kaydakunna azim. Verily, the machinations and guiles of you women are very great. Yusuf aridan hadha. Now he appealed to Yusuf. You just ignore it. Don't mention this to anybody. Just, keep quiet about it and just ignore it. Yusuf aridan hadha wastaghfiri li zambiki. And he said to his wife, and you should beg pardon of your sin, of your ill deed. And innaki kunte min al-khati'in. Verily, you were the evildoer and you were the guilty. وَقَالَ نِسْوَةٌ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ امرأة العزيز تراود فتاها عن نفسي. Now this news broke and reached that higher society, because the aristocrats in that society, the begamat, the wives, now they were talking to each other. قالت نسوة في المدينة امرأة العزيز تراود فتاها عن نفسي. What has happened to this wife of this chief minister, prime minister, chief executive officer? She wants to seduce her slave. قَدْ شَغَفَهَا حُبًّا. Verily, he has incited in her aroused in her intense love for him. قَدْ شَغَفَهَا حُبًّا. إِنَّا لَنَرَاهَا فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ. We see her, she has gone very, very away from and very manifestly in, error. فَلَمَّا سَمِعَتْ بِمَكْرِهِنَّ. And when she, Zulaykha, the wife of that chief minister or Aziz of Misr, when she heard about makrihinna, their malicious talk, arsalat ilayhinna, she sent for them all to a banquet. Wa'atat lahunna muttakan, and arranged a banquet for them. Wa'atat kulla wahidatin minhunna sikinan, and gave to every one of them a knife to cut the fruits, etc. وَقَالَتْ اُخْرُجْ عَلَيْهِنَّ. قَالَتْ اُخْرُجْ عَلَيْهِنَّ. And he then commanded to Yusuf, now come out before them, maybe for service or something else. فَلَمَّا رَأَيْنَهُ. When all of them saw him, أَكْبَرْنَهُ. They exalted him very much. وَقَطَّعْنَا أَيْدِيَهُنَّ. And they cut their hands. Now not by mistake, please note, قَطَّعْنَا. قَطَّعَ يُقَطِّعُ تَقْطِيعًا. It is from tafheel. It can only be willfully doing it. Each one of them wanted to draw the attention of Yusuf alayhi salatu to him. It's just possible that one might have cut by mistake. And because Hazrat Yusuf, he turned to her and, attending her. So every one of them, now cut the fingers or hand intentionally. قَطَّعْنَا أَيْدِيَهُمْ. وَقُلْنَا حَاشَا لِلَّهِ. And they cut their hands in amazement and exclaimed, Allah blameless. حَاشَا لِلَّهِ مَا هَذَا بَشَرًا. This is not a mortal human being. In هَذَا إِلَّا مَلَكٌ كَرِيمٌ. He is none but a noble angel. قَالَتْ فَذَلِكُنَّ الَّذِي لُمْتُنَّنِي فِيهِ. Now she said, this is the one about whom you had been blaming me. وَلَقَدْ رَاوَدتُّهُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. And surely, indeed, I tried to seduce him. فَاسْتَعْصَمَ. But he held back. He held himself. He abstained. وَإِن لَمْ يَفْعَلْ مَا آمُرُهُ. And if he is not going to do what I am asking him to do, لَيُسْجَنَنَّ. He will definitely be put in the prison. وَلَا يَكُونًا مِنَ الصَّاغِرِينَ. And he will become the degraded, from the degraded ones. Now hearing all this conversation, Hazrat Yusuf is hearing it. Now he turns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in prayer. قَالَ رَبِّ السِّجْنُ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا يَدْعُونَنِي إِلَيْهِ. O Allah, my Lord, prison is more preferable to me than the way to which these women are calling me. يَدْعُونَنِي. Now here is again plural. Not only that wife of Al-Aziz, but all these women. The society was corrupt. The higher society, that was absolutely corrupt. What is happening to the royal society of Britain? Royal family of Britain. All these stories you know. All along with the confessions, clear confessions, on the media, throughout the world. So actually, she was not very much ashamed of what she did. She clearly said, yes, I did it. But he held back. He abstained. He didn't respond. But now, if he doesn't respond in future, I am bent upon it. And if he doesn't respond positively, he'll be put in prison. Now what he said, رَبِّ السِّجْنُ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا يَدْعُونَنِي إِلَيْهِ. Oh my Lord, prison is preferable to me than to what they are calling me. وَإِلَّا تَصْرِفْ عَنِّي كَيْدَهُنَّ. And if you don't turn away from me their machinations, أَصْبُهِنَّ إِلَيْهِنَّ, it's just possible that I might incline towards them. وَأَكُمْ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. And then I will become from the ignorance. I'll be the loser. After all, I am a human being. And seeing, to their machinations, they can go to the extent of cutting their hands so that I can have any attention towards them. So maybe if they continue, one after the other, all these means, maybe I might slip. Asbu ilayhinna, maybe I incline towards them. Fastajaba lahu rabbuhu. So his Lord accepted his prayer. Fasarafa anhu kaydahunna. And he turned away from him their machinations. Innahu huwa samiul alim. Verily, he is all listening, all knowing. Summa badalahum min ba'di ma ra'ul ayat. And then it came to occur to them. It appeared to them to be advisable. Even after seeing all these signs, he had seen for himself, the chief minister, what had happened in his house. He knew it. He had himself said, you are guilty, to his wife. And he had said to Hazrat Yusuf, now just ignore it. Let it go away. But now they thought, and this is actually the public safety now. For the public safety, he must be put into the prison. Because, we can't hold back our women. So it's better that he should be put in the prison. These are the laws, safety laws in so many countries. The TADA in India, and there's going to be, and it's under, legislative process, undergoing different stages. The Omnibus Anti-Terrorist Act. Anybody, any American, either a citizen or an alien, if he's a citizen, he could be put to prison without proving any charge against him. And if he is an alien, he can be just turned out from the country without proving. Now nothing was proved against him. Summa badalahum min ba'di ma ra'ul ayat la yasjunannahu hatta hin. It is better, more advisable to put him in the prison for some time to come. Wa dakhala ma'ahu sijna fatayan. And with him entered the prison two youths. Qala ahaduhuma. One of them said to him, Inni arani asiru khamra. I see in my vision myself pressing wine. وَقَالَ الْآخَرُ. And the other one said, Inni arani ahmilu fawqa rasi khubza. I see in my vision, in my dream, that I am carrying bread on my head. تَأْخُذُ الطَّيْرُ مِنْهُ, and the birds are eating it from it. نَبِّئْنَا بِتَأْوِيلِهِ, tell us the interpretation of this dream. إِنَّا نَرَاكَ مِنَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, we see you to be a very good character man. You are a very good man. You don't seem to be a criminal like ourselves, you know. In the prison, all others are criminals, but you are a different type of person. You seem to be a very gentle person, knowledgeable person. So actually, if you can, please tell us the interpretation. قَالَ لَا يَأْتِيكُمَا طَعَامٌ تُرْزَقَانِهِ إِلَّا نَبَّأْتُكُمَا بِتَأْوِيلِهِ قَبْلَ أَنْ يَأْتِيَكُمَا. He said, the food which comes to you, which is given to you every day, the ration in the prison, now today, when that food is given to you, before that time, I will tell you the interpretation of your dreams. What does it mean? He wanted to borrow some time, to buy some time. Because now they had turned to him, he wanted to preach to them the truth of the deen. Because after all, he was son of a prophet, Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salam. He was fully grown, he was 17 when he was taken away from his home. So he knew his grandfather Ibrahim, great-grandfather Ibrahim, and his grandfather Ishaq, and his father Yaqub, and what is the creed, what they believe in it, and what is the belief that he had. So he wanted to preach it. ذَلِكُمَا مِمَّا عَلَّمَنِي رَبِّي, and this is from what my Lord has taught me. He is not taking the credit for himself. This is another thing, you know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught me these things. He kept me there in the house of the chief minister. I was there in that society, topmost society. I had the occasions to learn things, to interpret the things. But all things were arranged for me by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody could have done it to me without his command. ذَلِكُمَا مِمَّا عَلَّمَنِي رَبِّي إِنِّي تَرَكْتُ مِلَّةَ قَوْمٍ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَهُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ. I have left the creed of those people who don't believe in Allah, and also they reject Akhirah. They don't believe in resurrection. They don't believe in the hereafter. وَاتَّبَعْتُ مِلَّةَ آبَائِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ. And I have now consciously, although he was a son or a grandson or a great-grandson of the prophets, but now, when he comes of an age, now this is actually a conscious rejuvenation or revitalization of faith. Conscious. So he says, وَاتَّبَعْتُ مِلَّةَ آبَائِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ. And I have followed, I have decided to follow the creed of my forefathers, my fathers Ibrahim and Ishaq and Yaqub. مَا كَانَ لَنَا نُشْرِكَ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. It's not worthy of us. It's not befitting for us that we should associate anything with Allah. ذَلِكَ مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ عَلَيْنَا. This is a grace or bounty of Allah to us. He made us superior to every other creature. On us means especially on Ibrahim, Ishaq, Yaqub and me, but on the all of humanity. Because you know they were created as vicegerents of Allah on earth, and all the angels were made to prostrate before Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. And we should now associate certain things, you know, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try to and start worshipping them. It's not befitting for us. ذَلِكَ مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ عَلَيْنَا وَعَلَى النَّاسِ, and on all the people, all the mankind. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَشْكُرُونَ. But most of the people are not thankful. يَا صَاحِبَيِ السِّجْنِ, O two of my companions in the prison. أَأَرْبَابٌ مُتَفَرِّقُونَ خَيْرٌ أَمِ اللَّهُ الْوَاحِدُ الْقَهَّارُ. You think for yourself. Are so many scattered gods better? Or the one, Allah, the one who is all powerful, who controls everything, who has power over everything. If you have to serve so many masters, is it easy? To serve one master, it's very easy. You know what are his priorities, what are his preferences. But you know, if you have to serve two, maybe their preferences and priorities clash with each other. So to whom to serve and whom to deny? You'll be in a fix. So, أَرْبَابٌ مُتَفَرِّقُونَ خَيْرٌ. ام اللہ الواحد القہار ما تعبدون من دونہ الا اسماء سمیتموها انتم وآباؤکم. All these gods whom you are worshipping, leaving alone Allah, leaving away Allah, besides Allah, they are not except only names which you have named and concocted and invented, you and your forefathers. Ma anzalallahu biha min sultan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not sent down regarding any of those any authority. Inil hukmu illa lillah. Sovereignty, the command, the absolute right of obedience is to Allah and Allah alone. Inil hukmu illa lillah. Amara la ta'budu illa iyyah. And He has commanded that you will not obey, you will not worship anybody except me. Zalika ad-deenul qayyim. This is the straight deen. This is the right system of life. Walakinna akthara an-nas la ya'lamun. But most of the people know not. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'anil azim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikril hakim.